Hi guys, I'm going to do a quick review of the new product by Zoom. It's a multi-track recorder, Zoom R4. I got it today in the mail. I have the feeling I am one of the first people to review this product. It's brand new. It was announced a month ago by Zoom and it was expected to be on sale in November, so I'm pretty much sure that I'm one of the early birds that got one of these. Basically, I haven't done any reviews of gear, although I'm a musician. I am a singer-songwriter, and I use quite a bit of recorders. I've used quite a bit of recorders in my music work. Starting, I don't know, 10 years ago. I think my first product was again by Zoom. It was the Zoom R8. I've had the Boss BR800, the Micro BR, a really interesting toy. I've had a couple of the Tascam recorders. Now I have a larger Zoom Multitrack L12, but what brings me back to these little recorders in the era of the digital audio workstations, where everything is basically recorded and produced on a computer. Honestly, I don't know. It's something about the fact that you can hold something in your hand and you have physical control on the recording process. The idea that you can bring this, take this anywhere with you and record in any environment, sketch your ideas. Of course, it doesn't happen very often, at least with me, and all these commercials that you see, musicians playing their guitar on the beach and recording at the same time, I don't think it's very realistic, but still there is some interesting vibe about these handheld recorders, the Porta Studios, and anything that is not computer based. And of course, after you record with one of these, you can always take your files to the digital workstation that you have, to the computer, the program that you're using. But still, for the initial recordings, for the raw material, I still somehow prefer to use a handheld recorder or a Porta Studio. So without further ado, there wasn't much of an unpacking experience, unboxing experience. It came in a very small package. There was nothing in the box except the device and a couple of brochures and the manual. So I'm not showing you the unboxing part. Basically, what I can say about the unit, the first feeling of the unit is it was very light. Now I've put 4 AA batteries in the back, and it has a little weight now, but initially it's quite a light thing. It's made of plastic, but the black plastic is very nice actually. It's not doesn't feel cheap, except for the sliders here, which are in a weird color of blue, and maybe the color itself looks a little cheap, and certainly the sliders, well, they don't look so cheap, but they don't look premium either. So basically, it's probably part of the compromise that Zoom has to make because of the low price of the thing, which sells for about €200 in Europe and about $200 in the US. What do we have? On the side, we have a volume control with a input jack for the headphones, where you monitor your recordings and you do some mixing. On the other side, you have the slot for the SD card, the power button here, the slot for the SD card, and a USB-C port, which can also be used for charging the device, which is very nice. On the bottom, you have 2 combined XLR ports. You also see the microphone here, which is on the corner. Surprisingly, it's a very good microphone. I did some test recordings and it sounds really good. And of course, you can always use your more premium condenser microphones or vocal microphones that you might have. It's a combined, they are combined inputs, so you can use also your instrument. So what do we have in the front? You have the LCD display, you have the sliders for the 4 tracks, because it's a 4-track recorder. Yes, you can record up to 4 tracks, but then you can bounce all of these tracks to a separate bounce track, and you can repeat this process practically endlessly. So basically it makes this a very, very versatile unit for developing your ideas into a more sophisticated piece with more instruments, with more singing, vocal parts, etc. And for a singer-songwriter, it is important. So basically, you have these sliders. You have 4 little buttons here, which control the menu and also helps you select the track. They have certain commands attached to them. You have the input, the effect and the rhythm button. You have the transport buttons here, which allows you to fast forward and then backwards. Undo and bounce. You can undo your bounce if you're not happy with it. And you have the main control buttons, which is the record, the play, and the stop button, which also functions as a menu button. Interesting. These buttons here on the bottom, this one, and these 4 are kind of clicky. They are different from the others. These are not clicky buttons, the other ones. They're softer, but not very soft. So I think it's a very, very good balance. And of course, you want to have a tactile feedback when you control the beginning and the end of your recording. And that's why probably they put these buttons like that. You have an interesting switch here, which is basically controlling where your signal is coming from. And you can select the microphone or the input, which will take the machine to the external inputs for the signal. Well, let's turn it on. I've put some batteries, as I said. So I was surprised with the quality of the screen. For many years, we are used to these really black and white, simple screens of the portable studios that were around for the last 10-20 years. But this one is a very, very bright, very high quality color display. And as you can see here, you have the 4 tracks immediately visible. I have one bounce track because I did some test recording for a while. Initially, when you switch it on, of course, it will take you to a menu of setting your time. So have that in mind. So how do you operate this? Basically, what you do is you select your input by pressing the button input, and then you have the 4 tracks with different options for them. And for example, if I want to select the first track, if I press this little button here under the track, you can switch between the different inputs. So it's microphone input B or input B with a phantom power. Yes, this device has a phantom power, so you have your 48 volts if you're using one of these condenser professional high-quality microphones. So once you're ready with the selection of the input, for example, I can select microphone here. You press input again, and you're ready for recording. You see that your track is armed for recording, and by pressing this button here, you can start recording, and you can control the volume and see if there's no clipping. Interestingly about the clipping though, one of the factors that actually made me to decide to buy one of these is the ability of the Zoom R4 to record in 32-bit flow, which in theory means that you will have no clipping in your recordings. That's a very, very good feature to have. And of course you have the highest possible quality of the WAV file that you're recording. It records in a WAV format. So once you're done with your recording and you have pressed stop, you can arm your other track by pressing input, turning this one off. So it lights green, so now it's your playback track if you want to overdub something. And then you select your second input for your second track. And press input again, and you're back in the main menu and you're ready to record. That's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, very, very, very light learning curve for this device. It took me about 5 to 10 minutes to really understand how it works without actually addressing the manual at all. By pressing stop, you're taken into this menu here. So you have to hold the stop button and select one of the buttons to go into your menu, your file management system, your tuner, yes, it has a tuner, and the system settings. And if you release the button, this menu disappears. It comes with a lot of effects. So you can assign effect to your input track. These are simple microphone effects that we have right now. You have a compressor and a preamp that you can control. You can select between different types of preamps and compressors. And if you go into the rhythm section, into the rhythm button, you can actually see that you can not only have a click for your recording, but you can also select a lot of patterns, which allows you to record accompanied by real drums. You have tens of different styles that you can choose from. You can select your tempo, the volume of the rhythm track, etc., or select the pre-count. What else? Well, there's a lot of things to talk about this unit, but I'm still very, very new to it, so I'll need some more time to explore it, and hopefully, if I have time and willingness, I can record some more presentations, especially going through the whole recording process, because it's really what makes a unit interesting is the ease of use, and at the same time without compromise for the quality of the recordings that you can make with it. I'm trying to remember where was the other. There was another interesting. Oh yes, here. If you press any of the tracks track buttons, you're taken into another menu. That's one of the main menus. And here you can actually play with an equalizer, a simple equalizer, 3-band equalizer with high, middle, and low. You can control the pan of your track for a preliminary mix if you want to do this. And you can add some echo and reverb. And these are effects and controls that actually do not affect the output file. So this is only for while you're recording recording to have a better feel in the recording process. For example, if you record vocals, it's always better to have in your headphones a little bit of reverb, a little bit of color, a little bit of atmosphere for your recording, because it affects your mood and the way you sing. So it makes a lot of sense to have these. And if you're using a guitar, if you plug a guitar, then you can also add a lot of effects for that guitar. But that's something I haven't tried yet. So basically this is it. And hope you guys enjoyed it and hope it was helpful for you. Thank you.